Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Elite Wrestling World. I am your host GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here for AEW Collision post-show review. What a stack card we have for tonight. Okada defending the international title against Myron Reed. Trios titles on the line. JetSpeed and Mistico versus the Dogs. So let's get dive into it and talk about that. So we started off with Trios title match. The Dogs versus JetSpeed and Mistico. The Dogs attacked the champions immediately and Gabe Kid mocked Bailey, who responded with the Hurricane Rana. We saw David Finlay and Mystico faced off, but Finlay was caught and Connors came back in, but ate Hurricane Rana from Mystico as well. So the champions all went back to the ring and tried to stereotype, but the Dogs pulled Bailey and Mystico from the ring and Connors attacked. Kid slammed Bailey on the floor and they went to take the upper hand in this match. Kevin Knight was escaping the heel beatdown and Mystico came in with the hot tag as well. We saw Finlay hitting a dominator on Kevin Knight as well. Mystico hit La Mystica on Clark Corners. Kevin Knight went for UFO splash on Finlay, but Finlay got the knees up. That looks brutal. Corners hit Bailey with a spear and Kid took off Knight's head off with a lariat. That was brutal as well. We saw superplex by Finlay, who picked up Bailey and Connors flew off the ropes with a spear that leveled Bailey, and that's the pinfall. And the Dogs wins the trios title. That was a shocking result on a go home collision episode of a pay-per-view. So I think so that was a very shocking result, but a very good result and a very good match. So after the match, we saw Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy on the screen interrupting the celebration, saying that they knew they were down a man, but they had a tag partner and were going to face the Dogs at Dynasty. Orange Cassidy was on the phone with his partner, so we get the confirmation of the Dogs defending their trios titles against the conglomeration, and I think so the mystery partner might be Kyle O'Reilly coming back to AEW. So it's a fantastic match announced for Dynasty as well. We saw Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida teaming up. That was an odd pairing. Shida started aggressively attacking Lawless at the start of the match. Statlander blind tagged in, hit the Saturday Night Fever and pinned the opponent. So and Shida didn't look happy with that. So we are building a kind of a team between Hikaru Shida and Statlander. So let's see where this story goes. We saw Death Riders backstage after their match against the United Empire on Dynamite. Moxley said that Dynasty was going to be a different story. Ospreay having to survive 20 minutes with Moxley on a neck that was shaky at best. I'm also getting the sense that Death Riders might be turning on Moxley with this kind of promo. So let's see what happens at Dynasty as well. Next up is Roosh versus Anthony Bowens, the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. Roosh and Bowens immediately started hitting hard strikes. Roosh has a way of bringing that out of a people by hitting them very hard. We saw Roosh hit a drop kick to the back of Bowens' head before stiffing him with several kicks as well. Then hit an Olympic slam for a 2 count. Bowens hit a DDT and got a 2 count as well. We saw Roosh hitting the running knee and still getting the 2 count as well. Bowens in the corner and Roosh looking for the bull's horns. This time he hit it and get the pinfall victory, and he's gonna be in the number 2 spot in the TNT title match Casino Gauntlet at Dynasty. So it's unpredictable who's gonna win this match. There are multiple candidates for that. Backstage, we saw Brawling Birds cutting a promo on Marina Shafir and Thekla. Alex Windsor promising that she would break Marina's neck before Ospreay breaks Moxley's, so they wouldn't be alone in the hospital as well. We saw Hurt Syndicate in action against Andy Anderson and Mojo Bari. This didn't go well for the two local talents as they were utterly crushed by the Hurt Syndicate. So it's gonna be interesting to see what direction Syndicate goes from here. We saw Young Bucks versus Clon and Hechicero tag team match. As one would expect, this match was very fast paced and Bucks working seamlessly with the luchadors as well. Hechicero rolled Nick Jackson around the ring while Matt Jackson was tied up in the ropes by Clon as well. Hechicero hit a flying knee on Nick Jackson as Matt came back into the ring and hit a crazy black hole slam on, and Clon comes off the top rope with the two stereo Northern Light suplex, and we saw Matt calling for the uh, tag and ran in wildly to the ropes as well. Jackson then hit a Canadian destroyer on Hechicero, and the Bucks locked in stereo sharpshooters on Clone and Hechicero as well. We saw Nick superkicked Hechicero on the apron and did the same to Rocky Romero, who was going to interrupt the match before hitting the metal driver on El Clone for the win. So against a very good tag team match before the Dynasty pay-per-view, the match between Bucks and Okada Takeshita is gonna be a fantastic match. Next up, we saw Okada defending the international title against Myron Reed. This was again a very good match. Okada went right after Reed but got baited into an attack before Reed sent it to the floor. Reed hit a super kick and went for a monkey flip in the corner, but Okada countered and set him on the top rope as well, and then hit the drop kick to send Reed on the floor. Okada went for a vertical suplex, but Reed countered it into a stunner that dropped Okada as well. Reed then hit the ropes and hit an incredible cutter over the top rope and off the apron on Okada. Went for a springboard 450 in the ring, but Okada got the knees up. Reed ducked under a rainmaker but got countered into a tombstone from Okada, and then Okada then nailed the rainmaker for the pinfall win. Another great match. We saw Willow Nightingale backstage talking about she took little Shivani advice, gave her the comeback killer seriously, and she made an open challenge to anyone that wanted to return to AEW from injury or they were away for a while. So maybe we will see Mercedes returning to challenge Willow Nightingale as well. Divine Dominion were backstage saying that their tag titles meant they were the best. Lina Cross said that Hyan and Maya World caught their attention with the previous video, so Megan Bain and Lina Cross challenged the two young girls for a tag title match at the 0 hours of Dynasty. So let's see what happens in this match at the 0 hour of Dynasty. And in the main event, we saw Thekla and Marina Shafir versus the Brawling Birds, Alex Windsor and Jamie Hayter. This immediately brought into a wild brawl at ringside with bodies flying everywhere into the barricade. We saw Alex Windsor wheelboard Shafir onto the apron and then threw her in the ring. So the match actually started as well. Shafir was knocked down and out for a long and hit a German suplex on Windsor. We saw Windsor trapped Shafir in the ropes and drop kicked her and hit a DDT before tagging out to Hayter as well. Hayter hit a drop kick on Shafir and then Hayter turned this into a pin attempt. So Shafir broke the submission, kicked Hayter and tagged Thekla in. Thekla locked on the octopus stretch on Hayter. Windsor kicked Shafir into Thekla to break the submission as well. All four women exchanged big moves before Thekla hit a forearm and Hayter responded with the headbutt that knocked both of the women on the mat. Windsor stomped on the foot of Shafir, letting her pick up and hit the two birds one stone on Shafir for the pinfall win. So again the Brawling Birds standing tall to end Collision. I thought this was an excellent main event tag match, and the Bucks versus Hechicero and El Clone match was fantastic as well. Okada looks good. So again, it's gonna be a fantastic pay-per-view on Sunday at Dynasty. We have great matches announced. So let's see what happens at Dynasty pay-per-view. So that's the end of the show, folks. Please guys like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.